I found out yesterday that my studio partner, mate, neighbor next door is leaving. I bought this mug a while ago. I know I showed it to you guys. Isn't it beautiful? So she does series, and they're all handmade and they're all embellished. You know, she sells them on Etsy and in a store. She made this little, even this little cozy, you know, little plate. So it looks like a sweater, right? It's so cute. And so she does collections. So the whole collection will be just one thing. And then she sells out of that. And just recently though, she is going to take a break from pottery. And she's gonna go into watercolors and she's gonna travel. So this is maybe one of the last times you can get one of these incredibly beautiful fine art mugs. I looked through her last, she just took them out of the kiln. Look at this beautiful painting she did. So it goes all the way around. It was a hard thing for me to choose. I mean, I literally was looking through like 24. And I keep them in my studio because I don't want Scott using them. Plus I don't want them to break, right? So I use them in my studio for tea or coffee. So anyways, I told her I'm gonna miss her. You take for granted people that you just think are gonna be there forever. So Diane Demers Smith, check her out. Buy her, you know, ceramics before they're gone. Oh my gosh. And then keep an eye out for her watercolors. Painting from life is something that you really need to take a lot of time. So when I have, and this is going to be a new model that we have on Friday. She's a beautiful black woman, and so I've been thinking about ideas. I've been thinking I really want her hair to be a big shape. I don't know if I'm going to like make it into things or if I'm just going to leave it big. I'm going to ask her to come natural. And I've been going through outfits that we have at my house that we've stored over the years. We go to thrift shops, we go to, you know, different countries, and we buy things for models all the time. So I looked through some of the clothes that I have yesterday, and I set aside about 5 or 6 outfits, dresses. I found some necklaces. I'm gonna use that purple possibly, and so it's not just something you show up that day. Like I have been thinking about it for the last 4 days, thinking about color schemes, thinking about ideas. You can even start a vision board on your laptop, like ideas that master painters have done, like how have they designed something? And then you take a little bit from this and a little bit from that. So you're your own AI. And that's probably why I'm talking about this, is because I want you guys to realize there's an organic process that you can do yourself and you don't need AI to do it. Okay, I just want to talk about that. So it's a lot of planning. It takes, you know, what is the lighting? What is the pose? I want it to be from life. I want it to be interesting. We tend to make our poses be very, especially when you're painting from life, simple, right? I personally need my model to be comfortable. So I'm trying to think of what can be comfortable and also interesting. Possibly also what I might do is maybe we'll do her head from life and hands from a photo, or maybe we will see how far we get the first day and then have her come back. So those are the things that I'm trying to think about right now. I went through my home studio and I was looking for boards and papers, and I found this, and this is a Crescent cold press, number 114. And I think it's probably like a 30 by 40, or no. I think these boards are 32 by 40. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna use this on Friday, but what I thought I would do is at least prepare it today, just in case I do a pastel. Now, I've been really excited about working on black, so I'm either going to tone this with a black acrylic, but I also have these inks. So, Pinata color inks, and this is like an extender. So this will make this black go farther. This would be great on actual papers that have texture or anything, and you don't want to make it very, very heavy. Yeah, it's like an acid-free permanent ink. Or, you know what? I have this stuff. a premium latex paint, gloss black. I also have acrylics. So I'm gonna test it out, but I do wanna make this board black. And then what I would do is put that Liquitex sanded prep on this. Because I told Scott, I said, let's do something ambitious this Friday. Let's set up a pose where we are doing head and hands, and with an outfit that's maybe kind of 60s. And I'm gonna have to move all this stuff over because we'll probably use that light. Okay, so that's what I'm doing today. And I'm also just gonna see if I wanna do pastel or not, or if I'm gonna do oil. I don't know. I got a whole bunch of different kinds of blacks together. So I have my board, I have my table. This is also something that I've noticed when I visit other artists, is that they don't have surfaces. It's something that you don't really think about, that you need tables that you can work on, you know, because also tables that aren't going to have like just stuff that gets left. So you see that table right there. I can work on that table, that kind of higher one, but it also is a catch-all table. It's also a table that I might put my backpack, or I might put my lunch, or it's the type of table that it accumulates stuff. You need tables in your studio, and some of these great smaller, or those things you can get from like hardware stores that can collapse. Maybe you can put it up against a wall, and then when you need to do stuff like this, like matting, framing, cutting, anything like that, it's so much better to do it on a table than on the floor, because I have used the floor a lot. I've also gotten really dirty already. So the first thing I did was I opened up this American Accents Ultra Cover latex paint, and it's called Gloss Black. The fascinating thing is that it looks blue. I don't know if you can tell. I mixed it, and it's not black. So that's why I'm gonna see if it dries black. I also have just Liquitex regular ivory black, you know, and those squeezy things. Something I noticed I had and I didn't even realize it, and I bought it for some reason, and you know, you don't even remember, is it's like a DIY home stuff that people use, and it's called chalk, matte distressing paint onyx. So I'm assuming you put it on furniture to kind of make it that shabby chic, or maybe you put it on walls to create a chalkboard. I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's to put on things and have it look kind of distressed, and like you could easily sand it down. But I'm gonna try it. And then of course I have the ink. So I got some, like a paper plate, I got some water, a throwaway brush. I also got some of those foam rollers that I've used a lot, and I found a scrap. So I could test it on this, and I probably could test it like maybe along a corner or something, but I just found this scrap of that same kind of material, and I will work on it with this. First one I'm gonna try is the Rust-Oleum. It says gloss black, we will see. I'm just gonna dip the corner. This looks totally blue. It really, I mean, it looks like a beautiful blue. So, I mean, I'm not against using this, that's for sure. And possibly you might need 2 coats, you know, like anything. This is a paper, so you see how it might need 2 coats once it's dry. That's all up to you. If it sinks in too much and it gets too light as it dries, then that's up to you if you feel like you need to do 2 coats on it. I can see the board just a little bit through here. Okay. Now the acrylic, I'm gonna need a little bit of water, right? So I have a little thing of water. Take my other side of my brush, a little bit of this, and then put it right next to it. I'm pretty sure any one of these are gonna work. The only thing that I'm really curious about is the ink and the chalk, to see how matte it was, because the this stuff is gonna be gloss, maybe, right? And I don't know how shiny this acrylic from Liquitex is gonna be. So that might be something that you are curious about. Do you like gloss or do you like matte? Scott is really into matte. So, and I think that definitely, if you want a solid black, all of these would definitely need 2 coats. I'm gonna get a sponge brush. Okay, so I'm gonna try a sponge brush now with this chalk. Obviously the sponge brush doesn't have any of those brush strokes. There's the, you know, when you're using kind of like a bristly, you see the strokes, and when you're using a sponge, a lot of times you won't. I can tell it looks very inky. Wow, this is fascinating. It's much more solid, much more matte, much more solid. That's nice. I like that. I really like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some of this ink in this paper plate and use a different brush. Shake it up a little bit. Oh. I'm gonna see what it looks like. I'm just gonna use one of these, just long haired. Take some of this ink. Oh, that's, I love it. So it's similar to the chalk, it's just super duper thin. And you know, if you really want it to last, you'd add some of this. But I mean, it's like a true ink. So it almost comes off as like a watercolor. Everything has a certain personality, and it also evaporates immediately. So the good thing about inks, a lot of pastelists use this on paper. I don't know if this is the exact, you know, the Jacquard Piñata color. This is Mantilla black. Pour a little bit more. It dries very, very fast. Yeah, I wonder if there's like some kind of alcohol in here. So this would be really great if you're already going to put this on some kind of sanded or toned paper. My suggestion to you is always have the paper adhere to a board first. If you've ever seen some of my earlier videos, you'd see that I ruined things. So this will dry super fast and thin. The chalk paint will dry very flat and very solid, and I think this will dry pretty, oh my God. It is already dry. These two are gonna take time. I mean, I think we already have a winner. I think we do. I think I'm gonna use this. Oh my God, this is probably something that I bought from Hobby Lobby or something. Chalk Cray Matte Distressing Paint. Gosh, I'm like super into that. I think the reason why I would choose this over the ink, first of all, it takes a lot more of the ink to do a really big board. I'd have to use a lot of the extender. So yeah, and you might have some of this sort of watercolor look, which is perfectly fine. I mean, and you might really want that. I do see that this American Accents looked incredibly blue in the can and is drying black. So that is a chemistry miracle. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is do this whole board in this black. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it's not super easy to find huge black boards. You could probably spend a lot of money on papers or like high-end papers or pastel boards. First of all, the pastel matte, you can't get a pure black. So that I would have to tone anyways. You see I have some pastel matte right there. And that's a big board, and I did order that from Dakota. But it is a dark gray. It's not black, and it does make a difference for me. It just really does. So I'll let you see the process, but I'm gonna tone this huge board. Oh, trying to get these foam rollers on here sometimes. Oh, sometimes they don't want to fit. You have to really push. Okay. And I also think, you know, I learned from my mistakes. You might want to wear some of those disposable gloves. I'm always doing things and then going, why didn't I think of that first? Because I think I'm relatively a pretty, I'm just not that neat when it comes to the studio. Okay, I decided to use a roller because I figure it'll probably just be easier. So I'm just going to pour it out. I mean, I want you to see it's kind of thick. It definitely has a gelatinous. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, can you see it? Look, it's like, oh, yep. Oh, it has like a pudding feeling. I made a lot of mess, but just gonna try and get some of this back in here. Yeah, I suggest you use a palette knife and just take out a little bit as you go. You do not need all of this. It dries very flat, very solid. A little bit curious to see like what this looks like when it's completely dry, but you saw when I touched that little one, that little test, it was like dry to my finger within just like a minute or two. Oh, I just got my paper. Oh man, I just got it all over my green cloth. Okay, another thing, maybe put down cardboard or some kind of protector. Oh, I sure do make a lot of mistakes and I try to learn from them. My goal is to hopefully do stupid things for you guys you won't do stupid things. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry. If I have to touch it up, I will, but I just don't think I will. Okay, I'm gonna have Scott come this afternoon and cut that. I'm also maybe gonna do a backup. So I have this Fabriano Artistico. I don't really know. Oh, it's 640 grams, so that's very, very stiff. I don't know exactly what this is, but it looks like it's about the same, kind of like a 30 by 40, but since this is European, it might come out to be like a 32 by 40. So it's very stiff. One side has a little bit more texture. The other side is maybe a little bit. I'm gonna use that ink. So I'm gonna have a backup just in case I start to work on that and I'm just really frustrated. I'm gonna use this. And Scott's gonna help me and we're gonna put up lighting and figure out our model tomorrow. And I bought all kinds of, I looked through my stash of outfits and so just colorful things. I told our model that we were gonna try and channel the 60s. So when we go to like Goodwill or thrift shops, we pick up stuff and she said she was gonna bring stuff too. So today is a whole day of setting up lights and making sure there's enough light on our canvases. Another model coming today. This time we are going to pose her seated. So I am seated so that I will be at the same eye level. Scott brought a canvas that is already pre-textured.
What I do is I just scrape my palette and I just put the extra stuff on the palette on the canvases. And then after they dry for a few months, you can paint on them.
So there wasn't a painting here, it was just you doing abstraction, right?
Yeah, this was just a canvas panel, a Centurion, and I just simply just would scrape my palette and put stuff on here.
So just a Centurion oil prime. This is 18 by 24. And I am working on, it's just one of those like kind of birch panels that I just gessoed with an oil primer. And then I did a green wash. I have this card here, which is just a index card, just to help my video with the white balance. I put this here just to have something to focus on. I'm using just sort of a dark, cool red. This could be anything from alizarin crimson, permanent matter, medium or deep, quinacridone rose, any sort of dark pink. This is just a mixture of this with a little bit of orange, I think. It was just something I took off my old palette. Transparent oxide brown and white. This is actually regular titanium white, and this is Gamblin, or maybe that is Michael Harding warm white. I just had a little bit left in a tube, and so I took that out. Just a variety of different brushes, you know, relatively small because I'll be painting small. And we'll see if we put the phone camera up a little bit for Scott. So the beginning, I'm gonna get my painting and the palette, and then I'll probably zoom in. Did you wanna say something?
Oh, if you want me to talk about colors, I can.
Oh, okay.
So, a lot of, like, these kinds of colors are just grays, mud colors that are from scraping my palette on the painting I'm working at home. This is some sort of magenta-ish, and then this is a...
It looks almost like a cerulean.
It's a cerulean, but it's a different name, but it's similar to cerulean.
Okay.
And then this is kind of a sap green, but it's also mixed with a little bit of other stuffs in there. And then I've got...
this looks kind of similar to that, but that's a mixture.
That's just scraping off the palette because I was using green on the dress from our last model.
And what is that? Just a yellow ochre?
This is yellow ochre. This is cadmium yellow. I think it's just cadmium yellow.
Well, it looks a little.
It's like a tint type thing. So yeah, it's not one of the exactly. It's not a
pure.
Yeah, it's not like a cadmium one. It's like one of those like.
Because it actually has a tint of either being like a cad lemon or a cad light. It's on the cooler version.
I think it's just like cad yellow, and it's in the Rembrandt, but it's like a hue. It's not a cobalt like a. And this is cadmium medium, and this is kind of a mixture of reds that kind of got muddied up. This is a permanent alizarin crimson. I hadn't used that in a while. I thought it'd be fun to use. This is burnt umber, burnt sienna, cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, ivory black.
And your palette is relatively small for the types of paintings that you do. So do you actually mix here too?
Well, this is small, but I've been also using that big glass palette you gave me, which is next to it. So when I'm doing larger things, I will mix on that. And then when I'm done, I'll scrape the paint and then add them on here.
And then you kind of use this as a wet box to keep your paint.
Yeah. So I'll close this then, and then they won't dry. It'll last a lot longer that way.
And you're just using a tripod with that clip on the back to be able to get an 18 by 24 because this doesn't go all the way to the top, so you just use a clip.
Just a little, yeah, it's a little bit too small for that, so you just clip it on there and it's good, yeah.
And we're gonna have Rose come a little bit early. We're gonna try and do something with her hair. I brought some barrettes, rubber bands, kind of, you know, interesting things. And then we will paint for 3 hours. I just kept a purple cloth in the back. And this I kind of just to block, even though that light isn't strong over there, we are gonna have the light from above and the shadows are going to be, you know, on the right of her. So I didn't want any sort of fill, and that's just to slightly block it. This is the room.
It's some like Native American ceremony.
I'm in the back of the museum. It was so gorgeous out after the first dinner, which is the Prix de West Society dinner. And they have all these things here for children, you know, to learn about the different Native Americans and how they lived. And I saw this beautiful teepee. And I'm just, you know, I'm wanting to see what's in here. And I noticed this little box. And so it says here, press the button to listen. So I did.
Sado sado ton baton te o yan palazzi. O yan palazzi. Sado sado ton baton te o yan palazzi. O yan palazzi. Chiku chiku chiku.
Sorry that their expressway is so loud. Oh, I guess there's probably all these different kinds of housing, like hogans and teepees, and I wonder what are some of these. But this museum is, I can't believe I've been telling people I've been coming here since the early 90s, and each time I find something new. Huh. Okay. A Pawnee Earth Lodge. So I wonder if this is kind of like those, maybe sweat lodges? No. It's a traditional home. Earth Lodge. The Pawnee's traditional home was the Earth Lodge, constructed and accompanied by religious ceremony and poignant stories. Okay. I could just imagine being a little kid and having a class. Ooh, here's another button. Makes me want to dance. You know, just that beat, it really makes you kind of like move your feet. Oh my gosh, what a fun place. I'm gonna go see what's over here. The Chickasaw Council House. Oh, I love how they all have music, like the music. You, Scott and Kathy, and like, where's Sue? Well, Sue's having fun outside. It was quite hot today, so it's actually just lovely to walk around here in perfect weather in the twilight. I'm not exactly sure what these are called, but obviously this is like a replica of the Indians that lived on the sides of those cliffs. So, what does this say? The Kitsoki Village. Kitsoki Village is the body, and at its center is the Kisonvi Plaza. I don't know what Indians are. See. Oh, there's no box in here. There's no music. I'm probably just showing you how small the rooms are. Oh, this was fun. I'll get a little bit of the show. Not all of it right now, but there's George Carlson's. George didn't come this year. It's very textural, so that's the type of stuff you can really only see in person. This one's really cool. I love this one. Oh, this is Walter Matthai. Love it. Here's Kwang Ho. Yeah, this is lovely.
Still see the glow. Because he's been standing back over there. I guess he's a blacksmith in the neighborhood.
Oh, I see Scots. Oh, this is neat. It is fun to have like some of the new sculptors. They said that they're going to really introduce people who are using different kinds of materials. You know, they're really trying to broaden the way it's structured so that people have more leniency to be able to use different things. Yeah, Scott's work looks really nice. I like how they put it up against this beige. It's funny. I don't know if it's an optical illusion, but I feel like Scott's painting. It's just the teensiest bit. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to do it with my one hand. Oh, Scott, I think it's just a little bit tilted to the left. But that's Scott's work. It looks dramatic. I like it. I always have to say, when I look at websites, I feel like the work does not show up. Whoa, look at this. This is pretty amazing, John Coleman. Oh my God. Very impressive. And look at that drawing. Honestly, I'm probably one of the biggest fans of his drawings. I can't even imagine shipping that. I mean, shipping is a huge deal for us now. John makes enough money. He could ship this. But yeah, you won't be able to tell how big it is. But you have to see, just like, it's very big. And I can imagine how intense and gorgeous that will look at someone's house. Gladys, she's new to this year. I'm so glad she's in. Look at how beautifully and bright her paintings are. Yeah, lovely. Really great colors. So happy that she's in the show. Oh my God, look at these bunnies. They kind of look demonic. I like it. Their eye expressions are great by Sandy Scott. Oh, look at this. I do like this. This is Eric Bowman. There's Eric Bowman right there with Michael Dudash. And I love the idea. I've always wanted to do a screen. Always, always, always. Chickened out. Obviously, this is custom. You know, the framer made this screen. Yeah, really nice. Super cool. Yep, super cool.
Well, he has his illustration career. And it's great stuff. Yeah, it's great stuff. But he's so
Oh, this is so different from Sandy. I've never seen her do like a relief. Oh, I love this one by Joseph. That's really lovely. I really like that. We'll see how far I get. That one's really sweet too. Oh, I like these colors. I think this is beautiful. I'm sure the colors are not coming. In real life, it's much more of a pink violet, a warm purple. I don't think that it's showing up. Oh, these are pretty colors. I really like this middle one a lot. Yeah. Oh, soft pastel. Good, good, good. Good for you.
So you all gonna be here for the whole show?
I guess I might be able to do. Oh!
I have to tell you how.
Oh my gosh! That was the amazing Thomas Blackshear II. And I was just about to video his work when he said hello to me. He won the award for best, I think, painting of a figure or a portrait. I'm not sure the exact title, but no, it was a pretty big award last year. Actually, Scott and I thought he should have won. Wow, this is pretty cool. He was being very, very complimentary, almost making me, I don't know, a little bit emotional, being so nice. Oh, I'm sorry, did I just see a bunny? Oh, no. This in front of Thomas's work is like the epitome of good times. That is really cool. I actually really like that. That is Dan Ostermeyer. Oh my gosh. It is so fun. Grant Redden. I really like his snow scene a lot. Yeah, Grant has been doing gorgeous work. Yeah, I like those. I like the foreground of that. That's really neat. Teresa, I hope she comes this year. Yeah, it was Jim Wilcox, guy, famous artist who owns a couple galleries and started Soul Tech Easel. Hi. You see how big, how much artwork there is here. I need to make this bigger. Hui Han Lu, Michael Dudash, Kyle Sims. Oh, here's Hui Han's paintings. This is his 3rd year in the show. And he won a big award last year. Maybe it was for grouping. Or, oh, I don't know. Maybe it was, they have a couple different awards and I can't remember the names. But he did win something really big last year. He is one of the masters at atmosphere and doing like backgrounds. Really just a master at it. Oh, there's Paul Moore. I always like his work. His stuff always is you know, cutting edge, what you might call, always is different. It's kind of interesting, kind of like a screen, but like it actually hangs like a painting. Here's Matt Smith. Matt, I guess, couldn't make it this year. They said at the artist meeting. It's too bad. Scott would have loved to have talked to him. Oh, here's Logan's. Oh, interesting. That is a little different for Logan. Very Georgia O'Keeffe. Oh, and a drawing. And here's mine. Yeah, I like my spot. It is interesting because they probably couldn't have hung my paintings on a blue wall because I had the blue in this background, the blue in her hair, the blue-green. It would not have looked good on a blue wall. So yeah, that looks good there. Hey, Kathy and Sherry and David.
You're standing outside.
Ah, yeah, I just did a quick video run through.
Oh, no.
Just a real quick. You know, look at some of this interesting stuff. Like, wow. Oh, Scott Christensen.
Does these YouTube videos. First of all, she's so cute.
Oh, Dean Mitchell. Dean is going to be doing a talk or demo. That's cool because he won the Works on Paper, I think, last year. Amazing guy. I hope he comes this year. Oh, he has to come. He's doing a presentation. That's really different for him. Interesting. This is a acrylic. And this is acrylic. Wow. So I guess I got through everything. There's David LaFell and Kathy. Kathy knows David and they're hanging out. And there's Sherry McGraw. Yes.
Did I tell you, by the way?
Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Oh, thank you. There's Daniel. Daniel got an awesome spot. He also did a mega painting. So yeah, it looks very impressive here. And this is a pastel, so good for Daniel. All right, people should be doing more pastels. Terry Kelly, Moyers. That's cool. I like that one with the moon. That's really neat. I think I got through everything really fast. I didn't linger too much on things, but I quickly. I think I got through everything.
To actually talk about, show my slides or the PowerPoint. I have a short film. It's about 7.5 minutes long. It gives you an is of my mother, and my grandmother is in the center. And then to the right of me is my aunt. And I grew up with a house full of women, very, very strong women. And it's really where I got my sensibility about the world, was through my grandmother and church and so forth. And this photo is a photo of Tom Harris, which you saw him in the video, and his wife, Betty. This is when I was growing up as a kid, I knew very little about the continent of Africa. Mostly what I heard about Black Americans was usually slavery, Jim Crow, but Africa is a huge continent, 55 nations, over 2,000 languages spoken on that continent. And so, it's a still life I did from life in my studio. And if you really look at the sculpture itself, and particularly the face of the female sculpture I have in center of this composition, I don't know if you're familiar with the artist John Basquiat. When I saw this, I saw a lot of Basquiat's work in the face, in his use of color. If you're not familiar with him, he died at the age of 27. He's one of the most highly acclaimed artists who died at the age of 27. Very tragic situation, but a brilliant artist. And this is Prix de West show. And so religion has always fascinated me, because throughout the centuries, religion has also been used to give us a sense of moral compass, but it's also been used as a weapon to sometimes dehumanize people and make them feel like as if they were savages and this kind of thing. This was a way people conquered this was the way people conquered people. You know, this was a watercolor. I work very organic. I don't have a system. I just kind of go with my emotions when I'm doing the thing. And this was a watercolor that was not working out. I had all these weeds and stuff in front, and it just wasn't working out. So, and I wanted to create a sense of haunting. If you look at the door, it's dark shadows. It's like this dark mystery. Like, no, you know, it's troubling and haunting and gray. My daughter, and I was looking at the world, and a lot of times I tend to sort of look at the turmoil we're going through, and sometimes I try to do things that, in some way, to try to comfort us, for us to pause and think about what we're doing and how we engage one another. And so it's titled A Pause for Peace. It's my cousin Carolyn. I got a quick story about this one. I was invited to the Willow Rock show in Willow Rock Museum. And this thing is really funny. The gentleman, I can't remember the collector's name, I hope you'll forgive me, but he was so fascinated by his work. He kept coming back and forth. He's like, oh, I love it, but no, it doesn't fit my collection. He was like, back and forth. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get it, you know. I just love that. I love that, you know.
So people are just going up to Dean and just telling him how wonderful he is, and I don't want to, you know, kind of cut the line. This is Janice and Andrea, you know, from Texas. You guys saw them in the last couple videos, and so yeah, no, I just wanted to really reiterate what a powerful, thank you, what a powerful video. Yes. So, anyways, that was a great
book that you got.
That was a great. Oh, this is a book Jim Blevins gave us.
Oh, cool.
I took a picture. So
this room is now closed. We invite you to please continue.
This room, get out of this room. Well, anyways. So that was a great talk, and I think everybody was a little bit struck by how good it was. I didn't get the auction pieces, or at least I don't remember if I did. So there's so much to see. Dean, he really gave a shout out to Thomas. They worked together early on at Hallmark and stayed amazing friends. And Thomas Blacksher was a huge influence to Scott and me too. This is the first hall that you see when you come in. I'm gonna do a quick little walkthrough. Of course, I'm probably going to miss some people's artwork, and I hate that, but it's hard, especially when the opening, there's just too many people standing in front of things. So the lectures are over, and people will probably go back to the hotel, and we will rest up and literally come back. this is beautiful. These are Ralph's. Oh, I love those horses and those cows. Oh, and the dog. I'm sorry, I'm kind of a sucker for that. When you see dogs or cats in paintings, I love it.
Yeah, I really did, I think.
Okay. Oh, Walter and Scott. Okay, here we are again. I'll try and probably do some more tonight. It can get pretty crowded. I love seeing people and pointing at paintings and talking about them. Scott and I are in the room resting before tonight, and I look out my window, and who do I see in the pool but Kathy Anderson, Daniel Keyes, and their friends, and there's Richie Carter. Oh my God, and Daniel's friend from Fresno. They're just sitting in there, not, you know, moving around or anything, just wanting to be in bathing suits. It's very cute. I'm so glad I get a perfect view. Walter Mattia won Purchase Award. One of Scott and my good friend.
Appropriate to say that the Prix de West has gone to the dogs. You know,
Thought we'd come in. Kathy wanted to see the, see, these are all the bolos over the years. Isn't that fun? So Scott and I have a lot of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really a fun little art thing that you guys can collect and come back each year. And but these are they're bolos.
But
Yeah.
they have a date after.
Oh, that means the year that they were made. And each year they're,
Those are the artists.
those are the artists that were commissioned to make one.
They did commission those artists.
Oh yeah, these artists make these for everybody. They're commissioned, yeah.
So Steve Kestrel did this year's.
Yeah, the little frog. Last year's award winner. I've showed you guys this room before, but it's a sneak peek because you definitely should come and see for yourself. The paintings always just look so much better, and you know, they just look better when you see them in person. Of course, my idol, Bettina Steinke. Oh, she's right next to David LaFell. So, please come. And Walter Mattia's sculpture is gonna be in here next year. If you want to see these paintings, you know, longer, I have my video from last year. There's Janice and Kathy. Scott is talking to Dan Gerhardt. It's nice to see him. I'm going to do a quick walk through the show because I know for a fact there's at least one wall or two that I missed, and I would hate to put up a video and not have at least every wall be seen. Oh, nice. Good for Walter. Everybody's very happy. I'm trying to do a quick walkthrough because sometimes, you know, I think I've mentioned that if a ton of people are going to be around something, I might not have gotten a good video. Just want to make sure every wall gets shown.
Now I do. You gave me that. And this is 2 paintings for 1.
This is Randall Virchow right here. This is Randall.
But you know what's interesting?
This is a new artist, Don. Super friendly. I keep meeting him on the shuttle.
The thing about reflections is
Oh my gosh,
they're a
kitty.
little darker and they're a little grayish.
So I just want to make sure. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, Hawaii. Fascinating. You know, that's really the West. As far west as you can go. Oh, yeah, even these little tiny sculptures. Sometimes you miss these. So, oh, I don't know if I got over here. Well, this will never, you know, be as good as coming to see the show in person. Sonia Turping? Holy cow, I've only seen her do like drawings or watercolors. But these are all oil. Oh, cool. Well, we all branch out. Like, you know, you can't do the same thing over and over again. Okay. All right. I just knew I needed to come in and I'll take another look of Scott's because Scott is awesome. This is a custom frame from our friend Michael to go with that painting. So nice that we have a friend that can make frames. I don't think I got any good shots of Greg's.
Except the Three Sisters, they wouldn't crank the Three Sisters, but you should see how Jared did it. Ever need
All right. Oh, Morgan's. I don't think I was able to get Morgan because people were always standing in front of him.
I mean, he had it. He brought it out there. He brought it.
Yeah, so nice. Oh, this is a cool frame too.
No, they weren't.
Definitely a custom frame. Alrighty, come to the show. I kind of, you know, they're starting to talk about getting wood. This is a new artist, Peregrine. I love the name. Hi, Jim.
Okay, and I've got backup. I've had natural light. And I've got it so that I could, to my own studio, you know, it would take a lot of time to set up the model. We have an hour and a half. I fast track this. Main thing is that it gets the hands, the arms, the legs to do something that they wouldn't normally do. So not about the prop as much as it is about what it kind of does to hands and legs and feet, you know, even like. Because I'm probably going to do kind of head and hand. Since I never turned down the video. And I'll try to move around a bit because I know that I'm going to be blocking people, so I'll try to move out of the way enough so you guys can see. All right, so in starting the painting, you know, the first thing that is really the most important thing is, you know, that you begin to envision the painting. And so the size and placement is really the most important thing. So what I mean, by size and placement is really the composition. And so I know a lot of times people will start with detailed drawing. Like this. But what I am always thinking of really is just a mass, and thinking in terms of where the light will be placed, on the canvas. So and also it's a time to begin to see the painting in your mind's eye, and to begin to see, what it is you're going to do in the painting. So whatever that takes, So sometimes I'll do, several starts. It kind of depends, on. So part of what is happening for me at this point too is that I'm just trying to envision what this painting could look like. So just obviously this is all a rush and all of that because it's being done in such a short amount of time, but it would give you a kind of a window into what, at least how I would be thinking in my own studio. So. And this is a great Northlight studio, and I was going to try to go with Northlight, but unfortunately I just couldn't get the light and shadow on him that I would like, so. So just by doing a little bit of background, what it will do is give me some setting up the light and a feeling for how big the canvas is. Kind of oddly, it's hard to tell the dimensions of your canvas if you don't have some sort of background on it to really see the dimensions of it. You come in and carve into something, so just taking the background, carving into the hair or something like that. So.
Is that the only brush you're going to use today?
It might be. Yeah, sometimes I really do only use one brush to do a painting. When I went to study with David at the Art Students League, David LaFell, that was one of the first things that he taught me, actually. Was how to put light over dark and dark over light, so that you have to use the same brush and to be able to come and put a light stroke over it. So you learn a certain feel for your paint and what you can do with the paint. And when you do that, you can either mix what's in the brush with the paint that you're putting down, or you can just lay it down. So it means you don't have to have a whole handful of brushes, even though you look more like an artist if you do, but I'll risk that. So anyway, so here we're Yeah, you got about 9 minutes or so. That I learned from David was that, what was it? I know there was some. I know, the problem with demonstrations too is that you go in and out of like verbal mode, visual mode. Things go in and out of your head. The situation and so in a sense I don't have like one way that I work. I adjust to the situation, to the model.
Is there anything specific you did to get over the fear of the paint, or did you ever have fear of the paint?
Oh, sure. I was not a natural painter, really. I would say I was a natural draftsman, but I wasn't a natural painter. So yeah, no, I had paintings where I just had to put on so much paint that I was just in a lot of trouble. And then you figure out how to get out of it. So it just, you know, if you find yourself, you know, doing this, it means that you're afraid of the paint. So, you know, you've got to learn how to make brush strokes to allow, you know, what's going to happen with the paint, you know, to happen. So, but everybody that learns how to paint has to go through that. It's just a rite of passage that everybody who's ever painted has to go through. And it's such fun stuff to push around that usually, I think that's why a lot of people don't go the extra mile to really learn how to draw, because it's not as, you know, sexy a medium. You know, it's just not as, for a lot of people, it's just hard to get into just doing line, but it is so much fun when you do get into it. So.
Your palette. Yeah. So was this just plexiglass, or what is this?
Yeah, it's just 8-inch.
And did you? Oh, and so what's the tone behind that? Just.
It's the paper that it comes
Oh, okay. Well, it kind of matches your canvas a little bit, right?
I know.
So.
Actually, a pretty.
Cool. Thank you.
The size.
That was fun. Scott Christensen is in the room that I did a demo in a few years ago. It's in where the artist meeting is, that room over there. I think I'm gonna go back to the hotel. I'm gonna grab one of these magazines and take a shuttle back. Oh, but it's fun to watch. There she is, Sherry doing a demo. There's Joseph Bowler in the chair. He does those beautiful watercolors. Hui Han won the award for, you know, grouping of paintings. John Coleman won for Best Sculptor, that giant Indian that I showed you in the show.
This is quite an honor, and this is a good timing for me. I've got my daughter and her new husband with us, Hillary and Nelson.
There's multiple awards, and it's, you know, just trying to figure out how to, I don't know if there's a specific reason, just Frederick Remington Painting Award. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube videos. I love it when people write me about them, and I have fun doing them, so I'm so glad that people are enjoying them. Please subscribe and follow me and Scott on our Instagram pages, our website, and also on our patreon.com/Susan Lyon.